And we're back in the room. Welcome back. Welcome back. How are we all doing? Are we okay? Are we looking after yourself? Are we eating right? Taking care of your bodies and not filling it full of toxins? We're keeping ourselves healthy, positive, and upbeat. Just like me, because remember, health is wealth. And when you've got your health, you're wealthy. Who cares about brand names, fast cars and big houses? They mean very little to you when your interior is rotten to the core and you're basically rotten from the inside out until it becomes physically apparent. Yes, but it's another nice day. I'm off for a walk, talk about a few more things, but out for the dog. It's a very popular location for dog walkers. Oh. Hello there, we alright?
We're fine when the sun's out.
Oh yes, definitely. So, just out for a walk, I guess. Very popular. As soon as I get the camera out, everyone appears. Alright. So yeah, just come up and talk about a few more things. I've actually which pocket I've got them in. I've actually written down some notes about what I would like to talk about. I have here in my hand I can see them perfectly. So yeah, so as you know, I've been dealing with corrupt family on both sides, especially dealing with an unhinged female that's heavily into black magic. It was heavily in denial that they're into black magic and other perverse proclivities, shall we say, of a very deep and disturbing nature. I'm essentially dealing with a whole community who was easily seduced to the dark side.
Strike me down with all of your hatred, and your journey towards the dark side will be complete.
To take part in this chicanery in order to remove me from my mortal coil so they could reap the spoils of my inheritance and share it out amongst the rats who took part, which is basically by and large not just a community of people, like a whole fucking county of people and beyond, including corrupt police, corrupt judges, lawyers, doctors, nurses. It's just a whole cavalcade of crime, to be honest, and a cavalcade of comedy as well, because they're all fucking hilarious, because they all are very inept individuals. who just was seduced by the thought of receiving payment, a bit of wedge, you know, some spondulic, some dosh, to, you know, to be able to go up against me, because according to them, because they know me so well, they don't know me at all, because they know me so well that I'm weak, that I'm gullible, I'm naive, and it should just be a fucking walk in the park. Just, you know, a shooting the breeze, as it were. Well, it's safe to say that things didn't go at all according to their plan, and far from me being a pushover, I've been a thorn in their side.
Thorn in my side, you know that's all you ever were.
And I'm what you would call a nightmare to any fucking narcissist out there.
Welcome to my world, bitch.
Who thinks they're so above themselves. They're like narcissists, sociopaths, psychopaths. They like those Russian dolls, you know, they full of themselves. Full of shit as well, you know. They don't live in reality. They're just so entitled. They think they own people. They think they're entitled to whatever it is they set their eye upon. And so, they hatched a cunning plan.
I've got a plan so cunning you could put a tail on it and call it a weasel.
I mean, one female in particular, oh, she's fucking gross, to say the least. And she's knobbed a whole load of law officials, police, judges, doctors, nurses, whether it's scissoring or penetration. This thing will lie down with anything, and I mean anything. You could think of the most crudest thing to lie down with, and this fat heifer will do just that. Because this fucking idiot will do anything, and I mean anything, for money. Like suck off a horse, you know what I mean? Molest a child, sacrifice a child. You know, they'll do anything. There's no law they will stoop to in their conquest for financial gain. That's how fucking low they'll go. You know, how low will you go? Well, they'll stoop to the depths of depravity in order to you know, achieve their goals. But regrettably for them, I wasn't, like I say, the pushover that they thought I was. And rather than everything go head swimmingly, it didn't. It went against the current. You know what I mean? There was like tsunamis and tidal waves and everything to try and take on and mount. And it just did not go well for these bottom-feeding, parasitical individuals of the lowest order. And so, right now, they're all sort of like facing paranoia, despair, desperation, anguish, bitterness, resentfulness, hatred, you know, just all the kinds of venomous poison that one desperate soul will partake upon when selling their soul to tranny goat boy Lucy. And so I've just been making some notes of the plans, because as I'm sure I also mentioned that we're dealing with a sex cult. And so they're not only are they engaged in having sex with themselves, man, woman, tranny, yes, they've sampled the unique delights of a lady man and got mired in their depravity, that they need a good wash and a scrub because they're dirty. The
Dirty bastards.
So yes, so and what they seem to be, that I've realised, is that they're like energy vampires. Yeah? So they need clean energy and not the dirty energy that they themselves possess in their cult or their coven or their secret society of raging child enthusiasts, gay ragers, dykeros, Dykeaholics, do you know what I mean? Gayaholics, dykeaholics, trannyaholics, pedoaholics. You know, they'll engage in all kinds of sick, grotesque sexual proclivities that will make you vomit. And so anyway, they thought that they could like tempt me or seduce me into like having threesome sex because, well, one thing, they were trying to get initiated into this pedo society. I'm sorry, a secret society that are full of pedos. And one way would be to sacrifice me. So they wanted to try and seduce me into having threesome sex, be sort of like take on their bad energies, which would be not good for me, and lower my vibration, which would then make me more pliable and malleable, and would then become more susceptible to manipulation through witchcraft, black magic, dark art, you name it. So they'd be able to lure me to this den or wherever. It could be it could be a mansion in the countryside somewhere, doesn't matter where, right? But they're basically, right, you've seen The Golden Child, haven't you? Or you may not have, but if you've seen the film The Golden Child, they have a dagger, don't they? And it's like a cross in a point, it's like, you know, it's like a sword, it's like a dagger, but like a cross that goes down into a point. I'll try and insert a picture to you know, and like emphasising what I'm trying to describe. And like with an encrusted jewel on the bottom of the handle. And the plan was to like seduce me and get me to wherever they want to take me, whether it's a fucking a mansion with like underground fucking tunnel system that leads here and there, which could potentially lead out to a lake where they carry out these satanic rituals where they all dance around and frolic in their fucking druid outfits while they have an unwitting, drug-addled, you know, specimen that they've seduced, drugged, and then they get this fucking dark high priest or priestess all in their fucking ritualistic garb, and they sacrifice that person. And that's what they were hoping to achieve with me. I mean, I'm just adding a touch of my own understanding, but it might, you know what I mean? But it'll be somewhere, or they'll have like a pentagram, and they'll have you tied to it down on the floor, and it's surrounded by candles or something like that. You know what I mean? I'm just painting a picture of what the scenery could be like. And so, oh, doing all right. And so, so they've got this pentagram painted on the floor, with candles going around it, and you know, you've got everyone in the fucking the druids outfits, and you're all chanting, you know what I mean, like mumbling or fucking humming or whatever it is, And like you've got the dark high priest or high priestess comes in with this golden child dagger in order to sacrifice me, probably drink my blood and harvest my energy to be shared out amongst them all. That was one way of doing it, and another way that I understand is that they all have they have this altar, right? They have this altar, and upon this altar is a picture of me, right? And then what they all then do is, right, they engage in, you know, sexual intercourse, all of them, whether it's dwarves, men, women, trannies, you know, each sample in the unique delights of either person or individual present, and they like having this sex orgy, right, in the hopes of harvesting my energy while they all humping each other over a picture of me placed on an altar in some sort of sex dungeon that they have. Right. Right. This is what I've been getting. Right. Right. Oh, feeling that. I feel right. These are what I'm revealing here, right? That this is something they will never succeed in doing. I mean, I'm sure they did the whole sex thing in the sex dungeon, you know what I mean? While masturbating or bumming each other, or you know what I mean? Because they've got a whole community of like closet gays and things like that who like being pegged by lady men. You know, they're like sampling the unique delights of a lady man. And they like getting the back door smashed in, you know what I mean? They're like a police raid in the back entrance with many interlopers ram raiding the back passage, you know what I mean? The tradesman's entrance. And so I'm sure they have actually done that, you know what I mean? But the whole sacrifice with the golden child dagger, it's like a cross blade, it's like a 4-piece blade that comes down to a point. So obviously, like when you penetrate the skin with it, it creates a channel for rivulets of blood to come flooding out of your body to make you die off quicker, while they probably just get a cup or something and fill it with like your blood, and they pass it around and drink it, because they're not averse to those type of things. They'll do it to animals, they'll do it to people of all ages and sizes, shall we just say, without having to go too graphic into that, but I'm sure you get the picture. And so yeah, so they've definitely had the old sex orgy. They'll never get their sacrifice, because I've been celibate for almost 18 years. It will be in April the 8th. Right, I've been 18 years at that point. So, but we're quickly approaching that time. Not far away now. So like what, 17 years, 10 months at this point, give or take a few days. And I'm just not one for like getting into sex orgies and things like that. I'm more of a monogamous individual, whereby I'm just happy with one partner, so one woman, just like share our lives together in perpetuity until the time comes to move on or reincarnate or whatever, depending on what you did or didn't learn in this earthly plane, this school, which can be also interpreted as a simulation, but you can interpret it as a simulation, of course, but you're still here to learn, educate, grow, move on. And you have a contract that you signed before coming here of a set of tasks you must carry out and fulfill in order to grow, ascend, and move on to the next level. And depending on whether you achieve that in one life or the other, you'll just keep going in perpetuity until you will fulfill the agreement you signed when coming here to, move on. So if you come here to seek knowledge and wisdom and how to become a better person, things like that, you will be given a set of challenges, a set of tests, because we're all being tested. Every single one of us are being tested. Every single one of us. Have no mistake of that. Every single one of us is being tested. And so, yeah, so I've veered off there. So they've had this sacrifice. We've had the sex orgy, trying to harvest my energy. Another one was right. This is one of the plans. So if they hadn't sort of like sacrifices or leading up to the sacrifice, they wanted to keep us as a sex slave in a basement, and obviously like they'd be wanting me to donate semen so that they can like produce more children, things like that. I mean, men or women, they make a deposit, a donation, or they use the woman as a vessel to procreate and breed more children from divine beings, things like that. So yeah, they were hoping to do that, and like these, essentially, I'm just talking about a variety of plans that they were hoping to carry out and achieve. And another one was to, so there's an idiot cousin who works at the chemist or the pharmacist's, right, which is attached directly to the doctor's surgery. And within that, pharmacists or chemists, however you want to view it as, they have a corrupt pharmacist. Now this could be either an African, Middle East Asian, or the long-serving pharmacist who's also corrupt. And they were hoping that they could create sickness in my body, right, which would require me to seek a general practitioner to go for a checkup or receive medication that will be prescribed by the chemist from the prescription that the doctor written out. And by the way, there's the same corrupt one or two doctors at the surgery who've sold out, and they're all going to prison with the same people. All of it. You're all going to prison. Doesn't matter. But anyway, so they were hoping to prescribe his medication, which could possibly be tampered with, right? Then administered to me, which would cause, I don't know, me to go into a coma, something like that, which would then lead to me being kidnapped and placed in a basement where I would be kept in a comatose state in someone's fucking basement in some house, probably another fucking mansion somewhere out the countryside, with these well-to-do with Freemason, Oyster Star pedos. You know what I mean? So, but like these are the plans that they were hoping to achieve, should they achieve the initial goal of getting me into that state. Like where they seduced my so-called friends, well, they easily sold out. It wasn't that fucking hard to try and get me back to like drinking, doing drugs, and while attending like meetups at whoever's house to have a drink or whatever, they would then drug my drink, which they did do, by the way, but it just didn't go as planned, like nothing else did. But yeah, so that then, if I continued with the regular visits, right, if I didn't sort of like use my intuition and knew that there was something off with these people, which prompted me to just stay away from them altogether, because I knew there was something up, because they weren't very good at being actors. They were showing me who they were through the snide remarks, thinking they were being clever. Right, these are the same people that are just in denial of anything that they do. Right, even when you call them out on it, they'll be in denial, and they will themselves go to great lengths to hide what they truly are, what I know they all are. But besides the point, they were paid to try and get me back into drugs, to be drinking heavily, so that the lies that were told about me behind my back, which I'm taking as out of court for slander and defamation, amongst a vast array of other criminal offences and charges. And I will be prosecuting you all to the full extent of the law. Mark my words. Mark my fucking words. But anyway, so yes, because lies were told about us in a court of law, that I'm into frolicking and having frivolous sex and very frivolous with my spending habits, and consuming a lot of alcohol and other various types of narcotics of a recreational variety that you do on a weekend in large quantities once upon a time. But I'm not that person anymore, and these people I'm dealing with are just in denial. They just keep on doing the same thing over and over again. It's very tedious. It's very boring. They'll never get the message. And so I just have nothing more to do with them. And they don't like that. They're not happy when I'm there. They're not happy when I'm not there. They're continuously calling me, slagging my name up behind my back. I mean, that was another thing these so-called friends did. While they're also paid off, try and make it look like I'm a binge drinker, right? Whoa there, right? Like, try to make it look like I'm a binge drinker, that I take like cocaine and whatever else, LSD, cannabis, ecstasy, amphetamine, things like that. You know what I mean? Aside from doing that, as soon as I would leave, they didn't know how fast to fucking slag us off behind my back. They didn't, you know what I mean? Didn't know how fast to call us worse than fucking shite. And then, when you decide to have nothing more to do with them, how dare you? Like, the entitlement of these fucking people, you can't, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, you can't do right for doing wrong. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. But the way I see it, I made the right choice. I left these people in the fucking dust, which is the best place for them, because they're no good for fucking nothing. And so yeah, just thought I would talk about these retarded plans that they have. It's like I'm getting a glance of the thoughts that they keep in their head of what they'd like to do and who they discuss it with. That was a steep bank, I just had to walk up there. Fucking hell. But yeah, and then obviously I still got that fucking idiot from the Ukraine harassing us, creating fake accounts, creating group chats now. They've moved from one back up to the other. I mean, after I sort of took a screenshot, because she's always creating she, whatever the fuck it is, are always creating fake accounts on Instagram, and I can read their energy. It doesn't matter what name they use, what type of message they type, it's the same fucking message, just worded a bit differently or with a different name. But anyway, I highlighted how basically the same person using two different accounts, one pretend to be someone else on behalf, so they calling on themselves on behalf of themselves, so that it's the same person, it's no one different. They just created two fake accounts with very, very similar usernames, right? I mean, it was the same style as everything. It's just like, just they changed the names and changed around a few letters, but it's the same pattern that they've used. That's windy. So it's the same pattern that they've used. It's fucking windy. Hold on. a hard point. Wind, wind, wind. So they basically created 2 fake accounts on top of the multitude of accounts that's been created. Give them relatively the same identities. Pretended to be 2 different people, but it was the same one. But wasn't very convincing, you know. Plus, I can read their energy, and so I know who it is. I know who they are. And I just posted a screenshot on my community section on YouTube, just highlighting the fact that I know who it is. Keep doing the same thing. How incredibly bored it is. And that no matter how you word the message, you'll always be ignored. There will never be a response. So another fortnight went by, and the stupid cunt did exactly the same thing, but like it improved upon the criticisms that I'd made. But then proceeded to write out the same fucking message. Ah, man, like, we are dealing with an imbecile. Like, I am dealing with it's someone whose mind's gone, the mental's fucking gone. The holding on to a past version, or to the past when I wasn't aware of the deception that was going on. And so I was like, you could say I was naive, because I didn't know what was going on until, like, you know, I worked things out for myself, which they thought I never would, because they're so fucking clever at what they do. They're so, right? Like, their motto is they think I'm clever, but not as clever as them, right? But if that was true, then why are they repeating the same thing over and over and over and over and over fucking again? You know what I mean? Clever people don't repeat the same mistake repeatedly. Like a never-ending cycle. It's stuck in a never-ending loop, clinging on to the past, which is gone. I've moved on. I'm not interested anymore with none of you. That's you, my fucking family, and this entire community. And the sooner I can get out of this fucking shithole, the happier I'll be, because I won't miss none of you. If someone come and told us that one of you had died, wouldn't bother me. I still won't be coming to your funeral either. Fuck that. But yeah, so this person, it's lost its mind. And so then now it's started to create group chats, and it keeps adding us. And they keep sending messages, and I keep going to the hidden part on Instagram, just leaving the group. I'm not even going to entertain it. I'm telling you now, there'll be multiples of identities, right, that match all the demonic attachments that it has attached to it, parading as a different person. So, like, let's just say if I was to engage it, right, I would be talking to the same person who's assumed multiple identities, because that's how fucking crazy it is. Right? That's how fucking crazy it is. And so the madness just goes on. And I just look now. I'm not bothered in the slightest. I'm not tempted. I have no interest. There's the same fucking idiot that continuously spreads lies about us. You know, you're thinking of coming back, right? You realise I'm going to take you to court, and I'm going to prosecute you, all of you, every single one of you, to the full extent of the law. As soon as this investigation's wrapped up, and they start coming for you all, and then I get like the investigator or whoever who comes to my door or wherever, right, and says, this is all the information we have, would you like to press charges? And that's exactly what I'm going to say, to the full extent of the law. I want to prosecute all of you to the full extent of the law, because you're all backstabbing bastards who just sold out for a paltry payment to stab us in the fucking back. And you wonder why I'm fucking ignoring you. It's like I've got some stupid cunt now, the fucking BMW wanker, he's fucking flashing his lights to go, wherever it is. It's like, no, I'll just look at you like you're a numb cunt and ignore you. And guess what? It bothers you more than it ever bothered me. You're all fucking down low scum, right? Who don't like us anyway, right? You just pretend, put a fucking mask, you all wear a mask, pretend that you fucking like us, when you're all wankers, including those 2 arseholes around the fucking shop. fucking Bill and Ben, the bottom end. But anyway, right, I've got more stuff that I've wrote down. That was just the first sheet, you know what I mean? But like those plans at the end, it was all involving sex and sex magic, and it's all trying to involve like manipulation, lowering my vibration, to try and either sacrifices, use this as a sex slave, or have us in a comatose state in a basement through idiot cousins who work in a fucking chemist with corrupt pharmacists to prescribe us fucking tampered with medication that would somehow push me into a coma, whereby they could take us to hospital, transport us from hospital to a fucking basement somewhere out in the fucking country, then a fucking mansion or wherever, you know what I mean. I'm speculating as to where the location would be, but I've got the third eye open. It gives us an idea of what I would be looking at. Or that fucking Fanny Annie, the ladyboy tranny, wants to pass on the incurable STD that she was graciously given to by the fat witch, Jabba the Slut, which is never going to happen. Like, and the more you keep doing your fucking love spells and your sex magic and whatever else, it just makes me find you more and more repulsive, to the point where you make us want to be fucking sick to the stomach, whereby I don't even want to look at you because you're so fucking gross. But I've got more to talk about, but I'll just keep coming back on different videos. You know what I mean? I'll have to have a selection of videos of different fucking plans that the hard but have failed and will continue to fail. So yeah, I think I'll just leave it there, and I'll catch you on the next one. See you later.